The weird thing with alcohol is that if aliens came to Earth tomorrow and saw humans drinking this drug that's destroying their life, they'd probably think that we're insane. And the thing is that it is insane. Drinking alcohol makes no logical sense at all. And the reality is that we are suffering with mass delusion. And today I am going to break down 4 disgustingly shocking truths about alcohol. So if you've been struggling to control your drinking and you've always found it hard, like you have to resist alcohol, then you need to see this video. Because once you understand these truths, once you can see these individual things, light bulbs are going to start flashing in your head like, whoa, I get it now. So a quick introduction, I'm Leon Sylvester, the founder of SoberClear.com. And if you want information on how we've already helped over 400 business owners and professionals take back control of their drinking with over a 92% success rate, just head over to SoberClear.com. And if you click the link in the description, there'll be a short video there that explains the program. And if you like what you hear, you can book a call and then we can see if the program could be a good match. So let's get into the first shocking truth. So just for a second, imagine that there was an alternate universe. Imagine you woke up tomorrow, right? Everything's the same around you. Your friends are the same, your house is the same, your beds are the same, you still live in the same area, but you've actually woken up in an alternate universe. And it's Friday night. You go out to the bar, you're going to go and see your friends, but there's something different in this bar. You look behind there and you don't see any alcohol. You're like, this is weird. You see this thick blue bottle and you look a bit closer and you realize these are massive bottles of bleach. And then you look to the right and you see all your friends there in a circular table and they're all cheersing each other and, they're drinking their drinks and you're like, okay, you walk over to the table, you sit down and then in the middle of the table, what is it? Well, they've all got their drinks and some Coca-Cola, but there's no alcohol. It's just a bottle of bleach. And then as soon as you sit down, your friend grabs the bleach, pours a little bit into the drink, gets the Coca-Cola, puts it in there, goes, hey, nice to see you. And you're like, whoa, I'm not drinking this. Like, are you crazy? This is gonna kill me. I mean, why would I drink this? It's poisonous. Like, no way. Now, this sounds absurd. And obviously it's never going to happen. But if that friend from the alternate universe came into our universe and saw people drinking ethanol, right? Ethanol. And they were diluting this ethanol and drinking it. What do you think he would do? They would think you are insane. He'd say, why would you drink this? I mean, it's poisonous. It's going to kill you. This is the world that we live in, right? We have normalized drinking a small amount of ethanol, and we've normalized it to such a point that we give it to kids on their 18th or 21st birthday. It's in pretty much every movie you ever watch. I mean, it's everywhere. And this is the first shocking truth. We have normalized drinking a toxic substance despite knowing its dangers. But when you really think about what alcohol is, how is it different to bleach? But the only difference is that alcohol is pretty much the same stuff. But the difference is that people are addicted to it. So nobody's going to question it. So let's dive into the second truth. So if we lived in a world today where all the other drugs were legal, right? Just imagine for a second, every drug in the world was legal. It was controlled by the government. It was all made in a laboratory. They highly taxed it. And you could go into this pharmacy, right? And you could buy anything you wanted. But the thing is that it was the neat version of the drug. You'd go in there and everything was available, but you could only buy 100% purity. But then there'd be something in the corner of that store that nobody ever touched because it would have a warning sign on it. It would say, danger. Sure, all these other drugs are bad for you, but this one in the corner, if you drink this bottle, you will go blind, you will die. Now, I'm sure there'd be some crazy people that would still buy that drug, but most of the population would be terrified of it. They think, whoa, I mean, okay, there's these drugs, but that one, I'm not going near that. We live in a world where drinking a diluted poison, that if you drink enough of it, it will kill you, it will put you in a coffin. There is no question about that. We live in a world where drinking 10% of that poison's okay, 5%'s okay. How does that make any sense? How does drinking 5% of something that can put you 6 feet under make any sense to anybody? Well, it doesn't make sense. It makes no sense at all. But the problem is that if you never wake up to this, if you never see it, then you kind of just live your life with this fog over your eyes where you can never see clearly. Listen, drinking alcohol is not normal. It's been normalized. So let's get into the third truth. So I don't know about you, but when I was drinking alcohol, I would sometimes drink wine, right? I wouldn't drink wine very often, but if I'd ever drink red wine with a meal, there was always this thought in my head of like, I mean, wine's good for you, right? And it's weird because even though you know it's not, right? Even though you know it's ethanol, it still is there in your head that it could be healthy, right? It could be good for you. I mean, don't Italians drink wine and live longer? Or, we've seen those studies that come up on the media that wine drinkers have a longer life expectancy if they only drink a small amount. And the reason why this is a thing is because of resveratrol. This is the compound that could have these health benefits that we can get in a bit of grape juice. So imagine for a second, right, that you had a supplement, like cod fish oil, whatever it's called, fish liver oil. And sure, you knew scientifically that there was a benefit to taking this cod liver oil. The only caveat is every time you took the cod liver oil, you had to drink a pint of washing up liquid. Can you imagine that? Would you do that? Would you do that to get the very small benefit from the cod liver oil and then drink a pint of washing up liquid? If somebody told you that that was a good idea, they'd probably be locked up in a psychiatric ward. We'd think that they're crazy. But we've got multi-billion pound and multi-billion dollar companies that are pushing this message upon us all the time, that somehow a small amount of poison is okay. Straight madness. Straight nonsense. The stupidest thing somebody could think. I'm telling you one thing. Alcohol does not do anything for your heart. It damages your heart as well as every other cell in your body. It pretty much wreaks havoc on your entire organ system, and somehow a small amount of that is okay. Anyway, let's get to the fourth and final truth. When we look at how alcohol is portrayed, what do we see? We see glamour, we see success, we see happiness, we see camaraderie, we see a lot of positive imagery. We find our favorite characters in a TV series or a movie, the best person, the charismatic, the smooth one, having a sip. And listen, if alcohol did what it said on its tin, if it actually made you behave this way, then, hey, I wouldn't even make this channel. It would make sense to drink. The problem is it doesn't do this. See, why do we never see an advertisement of a woman with two black eyes? Why do we never see an advertisement of somebody that's fallen asleep in the middle of the street in a busy city and been peed on? Why don't we see a kid that's having to lie at school and say, yeah, my mum doesn't drink? Why don't we see somebody in a DUI? Why don't we see somebody in a car accident? Why do we see something completely different? Why don't we see reality? Because these things happen. You're not doubting this. You know this. You know that alcohol damages people and destroys lives. Yet how many times have you seen an alcohol company say this? No, what we get told to do is drink responsibly. How can any responsible person drink alcohol? It's the most irresponsible thing ever. We get told by the government to drink the recommended daily allowance, not the minimum unrecommended dose. No, we get a recommended daily allowance. We're not talking about calories or protein here. We're talking about a poison. Man, honestly, making this video is getting me angry. Listen, alcohol is doing nothing for you. It isn't helping you in any way. You've got to see through the lies, see through the madness, see reality, see alcohol for what it is. And if you click the video on the screen now, I'm going to show you 3 secrets to actually getting in control of your drinking. Have a great day.